Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of this GTNH run. So after doing my research on YouTube from last episode, we're gonna cut things down a little bit. We're gonna make some episodes shorter. So on that, it may look a little bit more jumbled together this episode, but I had to cut out a lot of just mining. We do a lot of progress today. As you can see, for one, don't remember at the end of last episode if we had as big of a smeltery, but we are currently attempting to make obsonite for a tool forge. This will unlock so many improved tinker's tools, namely the hammer and the lumber axe. Um, I'm pretty sure if I had to go mining with my pickaxe, I would have gone insane, and yet I still did with the hammer. However, you may also have a keen eye and see the ingredients for a wither in my inventory. Thanks to the roguelike dungeons, they spawn wither skeleton skulls in the third layer, I believe. It's a rare chance, but there's usually skeleton skulls. So on my journeys, I have collected 3 skulls and thought today would be a good idea to fight it. I have no reason to fight it, but for right now, we're just going to make some of these obsonite plates so that we can build the tool forge, but we have to do some actual quest progression before we can make the tool forge, as we need iron blocks or really any metal block. And for that, we need a compressor. So to do that, we need a steam alloy smelter to unlock the redstone alloy quest, wire cutter quest, so on and so forth into the steam age of technology. Right now, I'm just making a wrench because that's one of the first things we need, because we need a bricked hull. That's right. Never mind. I forgot. You need a hammer. The wrench was completely useless there, except to make the pipes that we eventually need. But that's a whole other thing. Today, you'll also see me do a lot of just stupid things in the crafting grid because I apparently forgot how to play this game. But it is what it is. This recording has taken me a long time, mainly because we didn't have the tools to really do much. But today finally changes that. Getting into the Steam Age, we unlock a lot of just quality of life things, namely our tinker's tools. But with this, we're actually finally starting to progress and get materials. But yeah. Last video did really well for the size of my channel, so appreciate that. Again, comments are always helpful. Likes are helpful, especially if you actually enjoyed the video. It helps me a lot. But it's there. You don't have to do it. Appreciate it, though. Right now, we're just doing some crafting. I believe I am making wire cutters, because we need those for quest to unlock the rest of Steam Age stuff. Even though I don't think I use them until making a flint and steel for the Nether quest. They really didn't come in handy at all. At least not yet. They will in LV until we get a wire mill, but meh. LV is going to unlock a lot of useful tech. Actually, the thing that we need for Tool Forge right now is the steam compressor, so we can make the blocks, That is also useful because that unlocks the ability to make a redstone clock to automate the smeltery. Using lava instead of solid fuel helps tremendously when it comes to mass producing ingots. Tinker's doesn't double ores in this pack, unfortunately, but I don't mind that when an ore vein is like 3 chunks wide, and the limonite veins have 3 different ores that can produce iron. It will get annoying later on when we actually start mass producing ores, but so be it. Just placing down the steam compressor. Again, sorry for the jump cuts. I stand around a lot. I think you can tell that from the last video. I was trying to edit that out so it wasn't as boring. But here we are just looking at the Toolforge quest, and now we're actually going to craft it. Here's one of my idiot mistakes. I forget that you need a hammer to craft it, and then I just keep placing things around thinking, oh yeah, that'll do it. It doesn't. Finally looking at the recipe, putting the hammer in. Toolforge. Yay, upgraded Tinker's tools. Now, the Wither. Completely useless for our current stage in the game. But another store's cool. You can't really do much without more of them. But take down the Wither pretty quickly. This sword I got from the roguelike dungeon is kind of cracked. It does way more damage than it needs to. Here I am lighting our nether portal that we don't actually really use until, well, when we need sulfur, but we don't get to that point today. That is the start of LV when we actually need rubber, because vulcanization is a real process, and Gregtech takes advantage of that. But we have another portal. Technically a tier skip because I haven't made the flint and steel yet. I found a couple of those in a roguelike. Now we're trying to upgrade storage because, as you can clearly see, it just gets out of hand. Eventually I do take care of all the coins. They added a vending machine multi-block. I apparently forgot to film me making it. But it gets put in the hallway next to our machines. You can see it briefly when we actually place down barrels and such. But we needed macerator. This is the new room I carved out with hammer. That took me a while, so I cut out most of it. But macerator is for stone dust to make our bricked blast furnace. We need a lot of water for that, so here's some water tank. That was what I talked about in the first episode, where we needed a biome that had a high humidity. If we didn't have that, it would take exponentially longer to collect water, and I got tired of running down to the little stream down the canyon biome. But it's a 3x3 hollow multi-block that produces water per tick. Ours produces 20 liters a second, which isn't much, but it's good for right now. We're not mass producing steam. I think I want to build a steam pump jack for water when we actually start producing steam on like an industrial scale, but that will be probably next episode. Here I am actually compressing our fire bricks, because we need so many fire bricks for this. We need 36 of the block, and each one of those takes 6 fire bricks and 2 gypsum and a bucket of concrete. You'll see probably a lot of dust in my inventory. That's all for the blast furnace. Actually, this is post making all the bricks, but there's our brick blast furnace. Finally, we can produce steel. I don't have to just rely on the roguelike dungeons. But It's slow. Realistically, I should have made 4 of them or more. The quests only go up to 4, but yeah. We're just carving out the area. You can see the hammer does a 3x3. It makes life so much easier. But now we finally can produce steel at, I mean, not an industrial scale, but a scale. The scale is still better than 0. It takes coal, coke, and iron. Coal, coke is coke oven with actual coal. Here's me just claiming some of the quests because I was a bit neglectful on doing that. Adding a ball of moss to our hammer so it doesn't take nearly as much steel. You can't craft them until you get into Thaumcraft. Hopefully, I can skip making a wand to get into Thaumcraft. That's really my favorite part of this mod pack. I love Thaumcraft 4. I hated Thaumcraft 6. They changed the system so much, and it didn't have the same feel as 2014 modded Minecraft, and that's peak era. Here's me looking at the blast furnace thinking it's broken. It still progresses, but it just, I think reloading the chunks screwed with the texture on the front of it. Like it's still very much active. I don't know. I'm not as much on that side of things, like understanding it. But I'm just digging at the top of it thinking, oh, maybe it just needs a way of venting pollution, and it would have been fine. In between episodes, I did try to beautify the base a bit. I mean, I carved out another room for storage, and then chiseled out some of the clay to make it look a little bit more put together, and then did the floors in a large cobblestone tile. I think it looks nice. This is kind of the base before the base. I know I'm probably going to move to a personal dimension and then completely build terrain around it, but that takes a lot of resources. But yeah, that's for the most part what we did this episode. Our goal was to start getting into quests. I know last episode I didn't do much, but yeah. And now I'm just looking at quests for the Nether. I don't end up doing any of them because we need to start actually getting into rubber making and all that fun tech. Again, thank you for watching today. I know it's short, but I cut out a lot of footage that I thought would be boring, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much.